Welcome back to the final segment of today's program here on Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Wu Ruiguo. We'll continue our conversation with Mr. Matthew Lien, who is a well-known music composer, producer, and performer here in Taiwan. Matthew, we know, as we've been discussing throughout the program today, that you certainly bring people from different nationality, cultures, and ethnicities together through your music. As you know, over the years, especially recently, that you put the love for the environment, environmental protection into your music. Right. That's certainly very important messages, for today and for younger generation and future generations. Yeah. And we understand that you're being able to, through your music, bring people of different cultures together. So a lot of people look at you, especially with your international background now, that you're somebody who bridges cultures together. For example, the magistrate of Kaohsiung City had appointed you the special ambassador to Aboriginal culture, and also back home the Yukon county government certainly appointed you the special envoy to Taiwan. Right. And how did you like all these different appointments and the kinds of honors and responsibilities that's being bestowed on you? And how do you think that through your music that you can try to perform that particular role, that responsibility as a cultural ambassador?
Well, those kind of appointments, and yes. I want to mention one that is maybe my greatest honor, and that was from the Council for Cultural Affairs. About 3 years ago, they appointed me cultural ambassador to Taiwan. Oh, terrific. And that is I feel probably of all the appointments, a really special one because it reflects Taiwan as a whole, and I know that I've done a lot of work with so many special people here, and I hope when I receive recognition like that I can act as a kind of mirror to reflect the light back to what it is that I've been working on and who I've been working with. Okay. That's something I feel really strongly about.
Good.
So every appointment generally presents an opportunity to do more of what I'm already doing. And this is one reason that I started to stay longer and longer in Taiwan. Yes. Was I was receiving these appointments, which then would lead to maybe producing a television series or a new album project. And these were getting more and more long, involved, and they would require months and months of field recording and studio production research. And it's led to several. I'm an honorary citizen of so many places in Taiwan now. I'd have to take time to count.
That's right.
Unfortunately, a house does not come with those honorary citizen appointments. Doggone it! I'd like to have a house in some of those beautiful places, But it's been a great opportunity to do more. It doesn't really change me. It doesn't change what I do so much. Okay. It just provides more opportunity to continue to raise awareness about cultures, nature. In many cases, culture and nature are inseparable, especially with Aboriginal culture. Okay. And cultures are in themselves a kind of ecosystem. Yes. Within a culture, we can know so much about how it evolved and why. What were the climate conditions? What kind of landscape did this culture evolve within? Okay. The food, the clothing, the songs, the stories, the legends. Okay. All of this can tell us the hundreds and thousands of years of evolution behind the current condition of the culture. And many cultures are oral cultures. This is why it's so critical that today, with the loss of traditional language in so many places around the world, certainly in Taiwan, we really have a responsibility to document, preserve, and promote Taiwan's traditional cultures, to ensure that the younger generation doesn't just lose it all.
And as you perform these roles as cultural ambassadors, whether within Taiwan or between your home in Canada to Taiwan, and when you think of all these responsibilities and the kinds of special honor that's being bestowed on you, how would you, in the future, as you continue to compose music, continue to develop people's awareness about environmental protection and others, how would you then integrate those honors and those responsibilities into it? So make sure that the products that you produce in the future will certainly carry those messages in a more maybe even a stronger format, creating something of a stronger impact out of people.
I think the benefit, the great benefit that can help, like you say, give greater value and effect to the music that you create. The greatest benefit maybe that comes from such appointments is that when you are introducing yourself or making a first contact to an agency or an individual elsewhere in the world that you need to cooperate with, you can make the appeal from a position of being more easily able to state who you are and the so people are more prone to take you seriously if you can demonstrate that you have a number of appointments, and therefore you're not just some guy coming out of nowhere. And will what they provide you with, maybe it's you're making a charitable request.
Yes.
Will the footage or the material or the mechanism that they can offer to you, the resource, will it be used in a responsible manner that will really have some effect? And with those appointments comes some valid.
Validation.
Some validation, some you're able to authenticate that you have done something already and that you will do something with what
recognize it, and also people respect that.
Right.
And I think a lot of people watching our program today would certainly like to know that, Matthew, in addition to discussing what you have done in the past, what are some of the projects that, up to the point that you can share with us, what are some of the projects that you're working on now that we can see in the coming months or coming years that will continue to represent both your passion for music and the environment?
Well, the next album, which is almost done, I leave in 1 week to go to California to master the album, and that is the music from the soundtrack of a documentary produced by PTS called Spirits of Orchid Island.
Oh, okay.
And they had this was PTS's first HD documentary.
Really?
And the director, Nick Upton, from England, has a list of credentials, also working with National Geographic and the BBC. And,
I would imagine,
and so working together with local crews and, of course, with the Dawu Aboriginal people in Orchid Island, they produced a wonderful documentary, and I was able to create the music for that. I'm now refining and contributing more music to what I already did for that documentary to produce a CD based on that soundtrack which I produced. And I hope that it will continue in this effort to raise awareness about the ecosystem and the culture of Orchid Island. And this concept I have, that an island represents more than just that place.
Yes, exactly.
The next album after that will be more of an international effort, which contains a lot more of my thinking about why we need to take care of this place where we all live, and the fact that we are not alone, that we share this world with so many species of animals and plants around us. And the final goal I have is a project called An Island Called Earth. And this is not just an album and then a concert, but will be produced with all of it in mind at the same time. It will be an album, DVD, multimedia concert production that I hope, as I mentioned before, will kind of present the planet in a way that that you are left with tears in your eyes for all the beauty and all the tragedy that is living in this world side by side. And the final point that we have a choice about what kind of world we want to live in.
Yeah, people need to make a commitment. And how long is it going to take for the final project, a place called, it's
An Island Called Earth?
Yes.
Because this album requires a lot of international work.
I would imagine. Yes.
So I'll be needing to gather a lot of film footage, for instance, from different places around the world that show both the beauty, aerial footage of waterfalls in South America and the tragedy in Darfur.
Yes.
You want to present the most beautiful and the most terrible, and so for that I need to draw on a lot of footage from a lot of agencies around the world.
So
and hopefully we'll have some charitable contributions.
No problem.
That'll take time. The music, the recording, I want to travel a fair bit to gather a lot of the on-location recordings of music and sound from the different places. And then the final production, this is something that will take probably 3 years at least to finally create.
Certainly, we know that Taiwan is now like a second home to you. You're married
more
to
than a second home.
Yes.
It is an equal home to anywhere.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, and you're married to a beautiful Chinese, Taiwanese woman, and you have a beautiful son.
Beautiful Taiwanese son.
Yes, and then can we then expect that Taiwan will remain a primary focus in your continued development of eco music?
Of course, with my family, my Taiwan family now, quite literally, I have an even greater and deeper commitment to making sure that my son has a very, very deep connection to this place, what is so special about his home called Taiwan, and why his view of the world can be greatly enhanced, as it was for me, by calling Taiwan his home.
Okay.
That's my hope.
Okay. Well, certainly wish you all the best, Matthew,
Thank you,
in all your endeavors, and certainly the projects that you mentioned in the program, on today's program, certainly very, very important, and not only entertain, people, but also carry very important messages, not just for music, but also for the environmental protection.
I hope so.
Thank you very much again,
Thank you.
being on the program, Matthew.
It's my honor. Thank you, Ray.
I want to thank you for watching our program today. I'll see you next time on Macroview Television. Thank you.